We are chatting to home cook, recipe developer and food content creator Natasha Maseko, who's huge on social media following reveal just how enticing her recipes are. And the cook joins me now via Zoom to tell us more about her culinary journey and how they've managed to keep food lovers on their toes and in the kitchen. Natasha, very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Simpiwe. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm so excited.
I know, right? And it's always a pleasure having you join us this morning. First of all, Natasha, let's start with the cooking bug. When did it bite you?
Ooh, way longer than before I can remember. I was raised by my grandma who worked as a domestic worker. And she used to work with me on her back. And I would be there with her when she was preparing the family's meals. And I was always insisting on helping her. And that's just where it started, and it's never left me. And also with my whole family as well. We are a family of food lovers, and cooking is the biggest part of everything that we do. Yeah. And it's just been in my heart and in my soul forever.
You know, Natasha, there's just something about grandmothers. Most of the cooks that I've interviewed on this show, they talk about being taught by their grandmothers. So yeah, big ups to the gogos out there. Speak to us about the type of cook that you are and the type of food that you make.
So cooking is my expression of love. And I love food that is nostalgic, that reminds you of home, that brings memories of childhood. I love food that is warm and hugs you from the inside, that brings people together and makes you happy. And food for me is about creating memories and expressing love and laughter and the beauty and the gift of sharing. So that's how I try to bring people together with my cooking, and that's what inspires most of my meals.
So when you say that you prefer foods that trigger nostalgia, are you referring to the traditional foods that we've grown accustomed to, or simply anything that really makes you, remember home?
Yes, not only traditional food, with modern food as well. Remember, food is about flavors and aromas and smells. So it's not necessarily always the traditional food will trigger memories, but it can be a certain smell or a certain taste that can take you to a place in your subconscious even sometimes that you've been before.
Yeah, add that with, serving that food on an enamel plate and enamel cup. It's absolutely astounding.
Oh, yes, beautiful.
Now, you founded Natasha's Food Concept. Speak to us more about what this is all about.
So Natasha's Food Concept is the umbrella of the dream, right? When Natasha's Eat started, I had no idea that it would be this big. And I'm forever grateful every single day. But when Natasha's Eat started, it was mostly just about me expressing my love through food and sharing how I do things, how I was taught, and the food story that is true to me. So Natasha's Food Concept is going to cover everything that's going to come from the dream, which is stemming from Natasha's Eats. There's a lot of big things brewing that I don't want to share and give away too much about, but that's basically what it is. It is the mother of all things that are coming.
Okay, and what would you say makes a dish whole and balanced?
Definitely meat.
Okay.
Meat, a good starch, color, balances of flavor, everybody's favorite things on one plate is what makes a food whole for me.
Okay, and what about the method? Grilled, fried, steamed?
It can be anything, really. It's really up to you. I'm more about the slow cooked, the braised, the simmered. That's my preference. But the method really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's about what you enjoy.
Sure. And who are your culinary influences? I mean, the people that inspire your dishes?
First and foremost, our very own Siba. She's a great inspiration, especially since she's South African, and she has broken the industry for us to be recognized internationally, followed by the likes of the Lazy Makoti. But the most important is definitely my grandmother. She might not be known to the world, but she's a huge influence in my culinary journey.
Okay. And what would you say is your most favorite dishes to cook and your favorite to eat?
Oh, my absolute favorite meal is pap and chicken.
Okay.
And I'm not talking about fancy chicken. Kibuaka ele ya Setswana with only onion and salt. That's my favorite meal any time of the week. I'll take that over any Italian dish. I'll take that over any fancy burger. But I also do love to cook a lot of family food, the hearty, the homey, your stews, your dumpling, your mokori, your semp, food that reminds people of home.
And I know that in most South African kitchens, the one ingredient that you are sure to find in their cupboards is a syrup or salt. So what is that one ingredient that you can't do without?
The one ingredient I can't do without is garlic.
Okay.
I put garlic in everything. It is, for me, it is the definition of flavor, and it's the base of all flavor. So garlic is definitely my go-to.
And what fancies you, dried herbs or fresh herbs or dried spices?
Oh, yes, definitely. I love thyme, basil, rosemary. I actually have a herb garden right outside my kitchen.
Okay.
And I'm a very big fan of fresh herbs.
Cool stuff. I mean, there's so many cooks out there and food content creators who are doing similar things as you do. What would you say sets you apart from them?
What sets me apart is my authenticity.
Sure.
I always strive to be relatable. I never want to seem like a big figure behind the pictures. I want people to know that I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a working woman. And this is just how I express love to my family. I'm not doing anything different. There are no big secrets. This is just normal home cooking and my expression of it through beautiful pictures.
Well, in as much as you love indigenous cooking, would you embrace other, dishes, the international cuisines perhaps, or the African cuisines?
Oh, yes, definitely. I was actually at an Asian restaurant just yesterday, and we were tasting all sorts of food that I had never seen before. And the chef was explaining all the intricate cooking methods that they were using. And I was quite intrigued by that. And I was actually thinking of starting to try things of that myself. So I'm inspired by different cultures. I'm inspired by different cooking methods, and I strive to learn every day.
All right. And where do you see your cooking journey headed to in the coming years?
Oh, big things. The dreams I have for Natasha's Eats are so big that they terrify me. And even I never thought I'd even be this far. When I started, it was never really the plan. So I see myself on your screens. I see myself with cookbooks being purchased all over the country.
Okay, yeah, please share those details. Where can you get a copy of the cookbook, and as well as how we can connect with you?
I will. I'll have to contact you to interview me again.
Natasha, and your social media handles?
It's at Natasha's Eats on Instagram. I'm only on Instagram.
All right. Natasha, great chatting to you. Keep cooking.
Thank you so much, Simpiwe.
Great stuff. That was our guest cook for this morning, Natasha Maseko. And we've been speaking to her about her love for food, cooking, recipe development and content creation.